welcome to Sakena's. Today is a very special day because I got a really interesting guest with me today. And the guest here is Kenneth Christiansen. Kenneth is famous for his label called Echo Chord. But Kenneth is also a dear friend for me. And Kenneth has a history in Danish techno music. Born and raised in Nykøbing Falster, and a true entrepreneur. Father of 2 daughters, made raves as a teenager, and moved to Copenhagen and began to DJ, and opened a record store, opened several clubs, and you're still a trailblazer today. Welcome, Kenneth.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
It's so nice to have you here. And the first track we were playing, what track is this?
Yeah, but that was actually the very first Echo Chord release made by the Danish artist called Metal,
Yeah.
which came out in 2001.
So it's 23 years ago today.
23 years ago.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and it's still really a nice track. It is. And do you want to tell us more about it? What made you start the label?
I was thinking about it for a few years actually, and then I was at that time working in a record shop in Copenhagen, a small record shop.
In Loud?
It was just around. We switched from a record shop called Science Fiction I had with Morten Kamper, my very good old friend, at that time. And then I had a good contacts with Compact in Cologne, which is a record label, but also a distribution. Because if you start a record label, it's very important to have the distribution solved, so you are, otherwise sorted. It's very difficult. So for me, it was very important to have that contact first of all, before I started anything. So I was just waiting a little bit to see, okay, what should I do? I was very, I was a big fan of the sound coming out of Berlin, the more dubby house techno sound from the Hardwax camp, which was basic channel, chain reaction, rhythm and sound, all this kind of music. And I thought it could be nice to keep going in that direction, just with a new edge, And then I met this guy in the record shop called Metal. He came down. I never met him before with a demo. At that time, it was like CDs.
Yeah.
It was before internet and all this. So, and I just heard the track, and I was like, wow. Now it's time.
Yeah.
And I think I got like 10 tracks or so, and I sent it all down to Compact, and I said, now I really think we should do it.
Yeah. And
Michael and Wolfgang down there were really into it, so very fast we started the label and had the 2 first releases coming out with Mikkel. That was the beginning.
Wow, that was the beginning before the internet days and social media, and you actually had to have a personal relation with people.
That was very important at that time. So I was really lucky also, I think, to meet him, and also at the same time had the connections already.
And you had
Germany a lot. So
and the good artists.
Yeah.
And I asked you to bring records and play, and I did it because nobody knows your label better than you, obviously. And I think we're going to a time travel with Echo Chord.
Yeah, that's my idea, to play start with of course the older stuff, and then the more new stuff, and also from I have some sub labels as well, some other record labels, and bring a little bit of that.
Yeah. And
talk a little bit about those records, you know, and the travel.
So what's the next record?
The next one is by Rod Modell from Detroit.
Yeah.
And he also sent me some CDs back in then, and that's also like almost that's more than 20 years ago.
So you got demo CDs from Detroit.
And I was a big fan of him at that time already. So I was like, wow, now this can really be a big thing, you know.
Yeah.
So this one is very important for me. So let's hear that.
This is really interesting. So this is really interesting, talking about what this label has done for you and for music in general in Copenhagen and also around the world. Because at first, I mean, you still as a record label man, how many people contact you on a monthly basis?
With demos, you mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I get like, it's not so many anymore, maybe 10, 15 a month now.
Yeah.
But back in the days before COVID and all this, it was much more, maybe 50 a month.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting that COVID made such a big change.
It makes a change, yeah. But still, I get some nice demos, yeah.
Yeah. And you listen to all of them?
Not all of them.
No?
But I try to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I guess when you have had a label for so many years, it's also, you know, it becomes a family. And I know from Copenhagen, Mikkel is, you know, he's a part of Echo Chord, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He's a big part. But it has always been my idea to have not too many artists involved.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning, the first, let's say, it's 10, 15 years. So
yeah.
we were like a family.
Yeah.
And always when I did my Echo Chord shows around, mostly in Europe, we always played together. You know, maybe 5, 10 artists to choose between.
Yeah.
Then I started the sub-labels as well, so then more artists got involved.
Yeah.
But still, you know, I try to focus it on not too many people.
Yeah.
But it is a family thing for sure.
It is
everybody
a family.
knows each other and everybody's meeting up and playing together as much as we can.
Yeah. Yeah, because you seem to me, from what I know you from, you're a person where relationships and relations to people are more important. And not status.
Yeah.
It's how you connect with people, right?
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, that's my feeling of you too, Kenneth.
Yeah.
And I think this tune is really great, and it's nice to know that you still have him on your label to do remixes. And one thing I'm curious about is you're still a vinyl man, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, for me, running a label and doing a record label is for me making records.
Yeah.
And when I'm DJing, still I only play vinyl.
You still only
play vinyl because, for me that's just been a special thing to do that. And the whole process running a label, that you get the test press first of all. You know, it's like still like Christmas Eve for me when I was a kid, to just open and smell the fresh vinyl. Doing the artwork, you know, make that ready, and you know, all the whole story, you know, about the production plans to do a record for me is very, very important.
Yeah.
Otherwise, would not be interesting for me to do it.
No. So when did you actually go on Bandcamp?
That was maybe 6 years ago or something.
Yeah.
I had to do that, of course, and I think it's also fine to have it digitally, because then some people hear it first digitally, and then they buy the vinyl after.
Yeah.
If they really are into it, so it's a very good promotion tool as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine to do both, but vinyl for me is very important.
Vinyl for you is very important, and do you think it has something to do with the kind of music that you are distributing? That dub techno is a vinyl-y kind of music, or?
Nah, not really. I mean, maybe a little bit, because some of the music I release as well is also more listening stuff. It can also be more dubby ambient music, so you can listen to it at home. And a lot of people nowadays also are more and more into vinyl and good sound quality. Also, especially with this more deep and warm music, I think.
Yeah.
If it was more like harder techno or more like a real DJ tool, it would maybe be a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe for this music, it's also more. It makes more sense to have it on vinyl as well.
Yeah.
I think so. Maybe you're right about that. Yeah.
So what's the record you've put on now?
Yeah, the next one is also an artist that has been very important for me over the last 15 years. I think Fluxion from Athens. He made some albums and a lot of EPs, and this is one of the nice tracks. Yeah. Hope you like it.
I like it already. Let's put the volume up.
I turn the hands of time for you. There is no cup I could not pull, no strings I could not pull, no place I wouldn't have gone for you. I'll be right there when you call.
talking about, well, a lot of stuff actually, but let me start out with asking again. Do you have any female artists on Echo Chord?
Nope, I don't. Not yet.
Not yet.
But let's see.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe, because, I mean, I've also been thinking about female artists that actually produce dub techno, and I can't come of any women that does it.
Not like the real dub techno. Then it's more maybe minimal housey stuff with some dub feelings. I know a few, but it will not really fit into my catalog at the moment. But maybe it's gonna change. We will. I hope so.
Yeah, because
I really hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think we need more female artists in every genre and in every aspect. And sure. But I've noticed that when you have a club night at Tresor, right?
I've been connected to Tresor Globus for 8 years now.
Yeah.
And there was a break, of course, with the COVID. But otherwise, I have doing my Echo Chord nights in Globus, which is the upper floor in Tresor.
Yeah, it's the floor that's made of wood, right?
Yeah.
It's so good to dance on.
It's the best sound system in Berlin. Everybody's saying that, not only me.
Yeah.
And I've been lucky to host my artists there and also to present some new upcoming people as well. Maybe to play in the beginning, and then of course I play myself all the time. So it's been really a nice journey.
Yeah.
Before that, I had been doing a lot of stuff in Berlin on many clubs. I had some years in Baggen, Panini Bar also, doing the whole club for a few years. Been doing it in Suicide Circus for some years. I started in the VMF club back in 1999 actually.
Yeah.
And then at Maria Club also, which was a very big club in Berlin as well.
Yeah.
So I've been around.
You've been around Berlin a lot.
A lot in Berlin, yes.
And you've also brought people from Berlin to Copenhagen, and you've been, the connection.
Yeah.
It has been through you in Copenhagen and to Berlin for our generation, for sure.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good people coming up and the other way. So
yeah,
it's always good. Yeah,
it's always good. What's the next record here?
I'm gonna play another one by Mikkel Metal, which is from one of his albums. This album is very special for me because a guy called Tiki Man, Paul Haller, did the vocals on this one, which was a very, very big project for us to do. So, and this track I play now is one of the tracks I played the most when I've been out DJing as well. So I think we should try to hear that.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's talk about parties and raves, because like you said before, this tune is good on the dance floor, and we talked about which kinds of dance floor, because dub techno requires quite a sound system actually, doesn't it?
Of course, it's very important to have a lot of sub and a lot of bass and yeah, just a good sound, especially also when you play the vinyl, that everything is really fixed and you have a good sound guy as well. So
yeah,
of course it makes sense to have the right place to do it, and not too big maybe also. Always been good with smaller clubs.
Yeah.
I played many clubs all over Europe and also Detroit, New York, everywhere, and the smaller clubs the better. I mean, festivals are funny, but very small club is always the most funny thing.
Yeah, they're very intimate, right?
For this kind of music, I think it's important not to have it too big.
Yeah,
so
I think you're right about that. Yeah. But Globus is still pretty big.
It can hold 800 people, but yeah, it's when the sound is like this, it doesn't matter really.
Yeah, that's amazing. And talking about parties, I can't stop myself from asking you, what was the first party you threw, and how old were you when you made that rave?
I made my first party in 1989, and I was 16 years old, and it was in an old farmhouse in the countryside. So, and 200 people came, and I remember What Time Is Love, KLF was just released, and The Age of Love, and all those records.
Yeah, yeah.
And we played them, and that was a very nice beginning. It was before I moved to Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Before all the clubs and record shops and all this. So, but it was a funny time.
Yeah.
Everything was fresh, everything was new. The sound was new. I mean, people were like, wow, what is going on? You know, so.
It's amazing, and it's amazing to think about you as a teenager. I mean, you were barely legal. Did you have alcohol?
We all had alcohol there, yes.
That was the countrysides of Denmark.
Exactly. So that was funny, and that especially it was the same time I started to work in the first record shop, actually, when I was 15 years old.
You did?
Also down there.
Yeah.
And Street Dance Records, a very famous record shop in Copenhagen at that time, just opened in Kenneth in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
And we got records from there. And I ordered some records when I was 15 years old, actually, from Copenhagen. And then I moved to Copenhagen. I started to work in street dance, so it's a funny story as well, actually.
Oh, so street dance kind of connected you.
Yes. So that's very funny as well.
That's interesting too. Mm-hmm. Well, let's take the next record.
Yes.
What is it?
The next one is by a very good friend of mine, Scott Monteith from Canada. He lives in Berlin. He's called Dead Beat, and he did a lot of stuff as well on my labels. And yeah, enjoy.
Thank you. And you started working in a very important record store in Copenhagen back in the days.
Yeah, in 1996 I started to work in Street Dance Records, and I was there for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then I got a little bit tired of that because everything got too commercial for me there. The way the music they wanted to sell and everything. So I thought it was time to try to start my own record shop.
Yeah.
It was very difficult at that time because there was a lot of record shops. We had Baggen also. We had loud music as well. But we tried it out, me and Morten Kamper, which was my very good old friend, also from the countryside actually.
Yeah.
And we could see after a year this would be too much competition, so we had to stop again. But then I got hired in loud music, and I was there for 4-5 years before I opened a club as well.
Yeah.
But I had some nightclubs as well before that, also in Copenhagen, like more illegal parties in Islands Brygge and places like that.
Yeah.
Where we also invited the big artists from the UK, the more techno people, and also from Hardwax in Berlin and stuff like this.
Yeah, because the thing with you is you've always been all of it in one. I mean, you've been having the record store, you've been doing the raves, and when did you actually start DJing, or did you do it all the time?
No, I started to DJ in professionally, I would say, in Copenhagen. I started also around mid 90s.
Mid 90s.
But my first really important gig was end of the 90s in Berlin.
Yeah.
Because I got invited by a label called Scape Records at that time. It was running by a guy called Stefan Betke, Pole. Mm-hmm. And he asked me to join them on a tour in Europe. Yeah. With him and Jan Jelinek, Kid Clayton. Also Deadbeats was coming in at that time. Yeah. We just heard. And that was my, real start to do a lot of stuff in Berlin at that time. Yeah. So, and then I started to play for Sonar in Barcelona many years and many other festivals as well. Yeah. And then the label came, and then it went really fast all over Europe. Yeah. Yeah, all over Europe, and you actually, I think, probably more famous outside of Denmark than in Denmark. Absolutely. Yes. That's so Danish. But I mean, Detroit Music Festival also, and I played also in Hong Kong and Japan and everywhere. You've been actually around everywhere. Yeah. And it's been really nice to present my label all these places. Really enjoyed it. Great, great. The next tune, what's that? Yeah, I want to play a little bit more ambient kind of tune because Echo Chord is not only about dub techno, but also more dub ambient kind of sound. So we're gonna hear a track by Sven Weisemann from Berlin. Yeah. Dub ambient. Ja. Det kalder jeg det. Den havde jeg aldrig hørt før, men det giver sig selv.
let's talk more about dub ambient. I think it's a new genre for me, and I think it's a really nice genre, dub ambient. What made you release music like this?
For me, Echo is also about, it can be more for the dance floor and also maybe a little bit harder than what I played now, but it can also be more listening kind of music with more real reggae dub elements. And I always came from that genre, but also I heard a lot of ambient chill out music in my early days, so I really liked when you can combine it.
Yeah.
The double elements in the different genres. So I think this is a good example.
Yeah. It's a really nice example.
Yeah. So
it's a lovely record actually. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think also as an old raver, we always have this duality with, you know, you have the techno and then you have the chill out, and you kind of mix those two things together, and you walk in and out from parties. I really miss the chill out room. We need more chill out rooms.
Yes, very important. Experimental rooms, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. We need space
where you can play everything.
Exactly. We need that space. It's so important because where you just sit and listen.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's really nice.
But the next one is by Babe Roots from Italy.
Yeah.
And it's only a few years old. And check it out.
I think you can let us know.
Yes. Yeah, this was Brave Roots, which is one of my artists that I signed and I'm really proud of. Made this EP and a remix EP as well.
Yeah.
And hopefully some more in the near future. I hope so.
Yeah.
We will see.
And what is this you have on here?
The next one now is by a guy called Matthew Midori from outside of Berlin. He's also known as Matthias Carden, but when he is Matthew Midori, he's doing this more dubby sound. And it's a Rod Model remix.
Okay, interesting.
Consciousness in an ice. People that wasn't so conscious about underdeveloped schools.
So, what is EcoCord all about today in 2024?
For me, it's just keep going on, releasing interesting artists, within the family, but also some new upcoming artists. The one I just released actually is by a guy from Tokyo called Altorm.
Yeah.
So it's just about keep going on and try to do my showcases as well around as much as possible.
Yeah.
So that's how it is.
So your family just gets bigger and bigger.
You can say that. I'm not like releasing like 10 records a year anymore. It's not so easy anymore, but still I try to have maybe 3 or 4 releases a year.
Yeah.
Which is perfect.
So one for every season actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the next one is from the 20 years of EcoCord compilation. It's a guy called Forest Dry West from London, which is also a very big one. So I'm really happy about this one, and he also did 2 EPs as well. So,
yeah.
But this is from the compilation.
Thank you. Well, besides EcoCord, you also have sub-labels.
Yeah, I started after 10 years a sub-label called EcoCord Color.
Yeah.
Because I got so many nice demos, which was maybe not really for EcoCord because there was too much, it was too powerful really to have on EcoCord, I thought.
Yeah.
So I made this sub-label to have a little bit more techno kind of, more than dub, you know. Yeah. And this one we're gonna hear now is an artist. He's been there with me almost from the beginning as well, from Detroit, called Lucas.
Lucas, here we go. Så det er mere techno. Nice tune, and it's even a beautiful color of vinyl. And well, we've finally reached final track for today. And before we play it, I would like to thank you, Kenneth, for joining me today.
You're very welcome. It's been very nice.
It's been very nice and very much fun.
Yes.
And loads of stories.
Yes. But the last one here is by Altone from Tokyo. And it's remixed by a good friend from Berlin called Thomas Fehlmann. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Kenneth.
You're welcome.